But I absolutely, I detest it. I can't, it requires a force of will to sit through it for this podcast. And even then, I'm pretty sure I was looking at my phone the whole time.
Wow. Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I am Katie, MrsRuvi.
And if you want to find out why we're laughing, subscribe to our Patreon because some of these clips before we record might be on there. We're funny sometimes.
I'm accidentally funny.
We have a very fun episode today. I'm excited. And we're kind of talking about three of the same movies.
The same movie 3 times that people have strong feelings about.
I think they're finally done making it. I don't know that they'll ever make another one. Like, odds are they will, but like I feel like at this point they don't need to. But we're going to talk about the Grinch. And before we do, I need to know, of the 3, which is your favorite? So is your favorite the 1966 OG 30-minute long cartoon? Or are you more of a fan of Jim Carrey's Grinch from the year 2000? Stay away from your computers, ladies and gentlemen, at midnight. Or, that was a Y2K joke.
Got it.
Or the 2018 cartoon version featuring music from Tyler, the Creator.
It's really weird that you cut out Benedict Cumberbatch's role in that.
Yeah, well, nobody cares about voice actors. Kidding.
Oh, hurtful. I care about
Kidding.
you deeply,
We care
Benedict
about you
Cumberbatch.
deeply. Yep.
Benedict Cumberbatch. And Thomas, who looks like Benedict Cumberbatch.
He does.
Anywho, of those 3, which do you think it is?
Probably the OG.
It is. It's the 1966 version. They basically just read the book and animate along with it, which I appreciate. And it's only 30 minutes long, which I also appreciate.
Yeah. So I, at one point in my life, enjoyed all 3 of these movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when I saw them, I enjoyed them. We're going to go a little more in depth into them here in a moment. But my favorite is the 2018 cartoon version.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was like super creative. I want to say snazzy for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I do.
Snazzy.
I remember watching it with my kids and just being like, this is way better than I thought it was going to be.
When I hear snazzy, I think of a little boy dressed for church in pants that have been ironed.
Yeah,
Because
snazzy.
because the mom is like, oh, you look snazzy.
Yeah, like the invention he has in the beginning, like to have the food, like all that happening. It's
Sure.
snazzy. It's fancy. It's fun.
Yeah,
It was different enough from the other 2 that made like it worth watching, and the music was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't
Tyler,
know.
the Creator. You're really into it.
I didn't know if I like him or not. I don't know. I have no thoughts other than I thought he did a great job
Yeah.
on that movie.
All right.
So enjoyed it. It's for kids for sure.
And that's the episode.
And that's the episode. That's the episode. I mean, right? Like, so the cartoon versions,
Yeah.
they're for kids.
Yeah. Basically your 1966 version, extremely true to the book. You could read along with it. That's a kind of a cool thing for me, is you can give the kid a copy of the book and they can read it along with it. When you're a pre-reading child, that's kind of neat to be able to match a word with what's on the screen. Very cool. And so that's nice. And it's only 30 minutes long, which means that you can show it to really even your littlest of kids and they're going to be fine for 30 minutes. If they can sit through an episode of Bluey, they can sit through this.
Yeah. And you just have to, I think the only thing for kids is like, you know, just letting them know that the Grinch isn't real.
And that Grinch isn't scary.
But even if they are a little scared, you're just like, oh, Grinch isn't real. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It's not a real thing.
Yeah. The newest one.
Yeah. The 2018, your
2018. It's so good. It's just great. It's worth watching. It's a little longer than the 30-minute one.
Yeah, it's 85 minutes.
How did you know that?
I looked it up in advance. It's called prep work, Jonathan.
I mean, I have it up here, but that's impressive.
I know.
You're doing great.
I have it memorized.
But that one's just fun. They have some fun spins on it, and like the creativity done in this new animated version compared to the creativity in Jim Carrey's version is like, it's just 10 times better. Like they had to add to it to make it longer than 30 minutes. So they had to add some things to it. And the things they did were just like super fun and innovative. Whereas we'll talk about the Jim Carrey version here in a moment, but like they added a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, I really liked the 2018 movie. It was our Christmas movie in 2018. We go to a movie every year on Christmas, and so we went to that one for Christmas that year, and it was good. It was fun. The kids had a great time. I have no complaints about the Grinch movie from 2018. I do, whenever they have to add things to it, I feel like it's a little forced and a little overwrought. Like I am the only person on earth who doesn't like the Polar Express movie, I think. for that same reason. Like, that book was not that long. This should have been a TV special. But yeah. I feel like they did a good job with the 2018 Grinch. And I also really like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep. And I also know how much you love, and I'm very excited to talk about. Well, so we're both going to agree that the cartoon versions are for kids.
Or, yeah, any age.
Any age. There's like some minor, really just not even worth talking about language in the new one. That like, if you're just watch it. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're gonna have the conversation about language every episode, I feel like, at some point, but that's okay because we have different takes on it every single time. You are a huge fan of the Jim Carrey version. I remember you telling me once your favorite Christmas movie of all time, and your reasons for it were that you make faces like Jim Carrey, and that you just found his character in that movie as the Grinch very handsome. Am I wrong on this?
One of us has been drinking heavily.
Am I wrong on this?
Yeah, I hate that movie.
Go on.
Flames on the side of my face. Somebody will get that reference. I am not a fan of Jim Carrey in general. I don't like Jim Carrey's style of comedy. I don't like physical comedy for the most part. Making horrifying faces, even though I do it all the time, is not my favorite thing in the whole world. There's a TikTok video going on around right now of him making the Grinch faces, and he's like, "Oh, the parents thought it was makeup. No, it's just his face." Like, that's really how distorted his face gets. He's grotesque and creepy, and a lot of physical comedy and a lot of screaming. The screaming,
loud noises.
Oh, like, it seems to be a theme in kids media all around, like YouTubers that focus towards children. You're just screaming the whole time. It's not, and kids seem to react well to just shrieking with no reason behind it at all. But I absolutely, I detest it. I can't, it requires a force of will to sit through it for this podcast. And even then, I'm pretty sure I was looking at my phone the whole time.
Wow. It's like me at Five Nights at Freddy's.
I hate it.
But you haven't said something that, like, you haven't mentioned how scary he looks.
No, yeah. The grotesque is what I meant by that. Like, his face is, like, it's awful.
Yeah, it's not fun. I remember the first time I saw it being like, I still once a month in my life think about Baby Grinch from that movie, and it was horrific. Like, it was
unnecessary. Like,
yeah, and then his face was just it was like creepy, and like I'm gonna take it a step further and say that like the Who's are creepy looking in that movie.
Yes,
they're creepy
girl
looking.
Is creepy.
Yeah, like
mayor
the faces
guy?
and what they did with them, like the whole thing is just kind of. My hot take is the Grinch with Jim Carrey is kind of a horror movie.
It is. It's a horror movie. It's grotesque and creepy. It's like all of the things that were weird about Coraline also exist in the Grinch.
Yeah.
Which is very awful. It's also 2 hours long.
It is long.
It's slightly less than 2 hours, but like it's extremely long. You had to 4 times over what the book actually had in it in order to fill that amount of space. And they filled it with Jim Carrey nonsense.
Which I will say, this is where we differ. I do think that Jim Carrey absolutely kills it in this movie.
You know what Jim Carrey is?
I think he's hilarious.
Real life SpongeBob.
I'm with you there. Like I look back at Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber, right? And The Mask, and even Liar Liar a little bit.
Yeah, Liar Liar's my least. The one that I disapprove of the least.
Yeah, and I like that one movie a lot, and I'm okay with some of those movies. But it's his style for sure.
John, I need you to see this picture that I took of my kids. Hang on, I'm scrolling back here. That's Christmas.
Today, Junior.
It's last Thursday. That's 45 minutes ago.
Hello.
Okay, hang on. Here it is. It just took me a minute. Here.
Oh, that is a really nice picture. Instead of like scrolling to show people your favorite pictures, you could just use Soul Tiles.
What's a soul tile?
It allows you to take any picture from your phone and upload it onto a piece of glass that you can then display in your house for anyone to see.
Glass. John, don't you think that's going to break?
No, it's tempered glass, which is vibrant, beautiful, and durable.
Okay, I am so bad at hanging things. Like I can't get it straight.
Let me stop you right there. You know that I am too. My wife does all of that stuff around the house. However, Soul Tiles makes it super easy by giving you an entire direction kit and a level that helps make it super easy that even you could do it.
All right. You almost got me sold on it, but my house is so small. There's probably not sizes that make sense for us.
Scott and Elizabeth thought of everything. You can get 8x8, 8x16, 8x24, whatever size you need. Go to soultiles.com/ITFK. That's how they'll know that we sent.
But I do think that it's a little bit funny. Like in The Grinch, when it's such a quotable movie, which I feel like a lot of movies at that time were made to be quotable.
Can't think of a single quote from that movie.
No.
Not one.
No.
And I literally just watched it.
I can't cancel that again. Oh, it's so good. What do you mean? Wallow in self-pity? 2:00?
Nope.
Therapy with myself?
Nope.
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't even remember because it was so annoying.
I do think that a lot of which was a lot of what was added, like to make the movie longer, of just him talking to himself or to the dog. Mm-hmm. I thought that was hilarious as a kid, and look back like fondly on those quotes, even though everyone in the movie looks super creepy.
2000.
Yeah, I was a kid. I graduated high school in 2005, so I was in 7th or 8th grade in 2000.
You were 13.
Yeah, so I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was scary.
I was 15
but it was hilarious.
when this movie came out, and it was dumb then, and it's dumb now. My high school boyfriend that I think I was dating around the time that I first saw this movie has a very had at that time, I don't really know the guy now, but had a very similar like his humor was that way, and he was a kid. How was I dating this kid in high school who would walk up to kids in the theater and pull his pants down and put his butt on them because he thought it was funny?
What?
They called it bumming people. Like
okay, that's
all
not
of the dudes, like it is, and
that
like
is not for kids.
Whole group of dudes in my high school did it, and that's like the type of comedy. Like he thought that was funny. The bumming people.
Okay, so hold on.
Oh,
okay, so I have a
maybe
feeling.
I have negative.
I have a feeling that the reason that I don't think you like this movie because of when you saw it. The same time I saw it, I'll never forget. The only movie I've ever left in the middle of the theater was Napoleon Dynamite. My girlfriend
Also
had like just broken up with me. I went to go see the movie with my friends, and I was so depressed and annoyed that I was like, "This movie sucks. It doesn't make any sense to me," and I left. And then I saw it in a much happier mood a couple of weeks later because my buddies were like, "Let's go actually see it," and I fell in love with the movie, and now I love it to this day. So maybe it's just when you saw it. No, Following Dynamite's great.
I also saw that movie, same boyfriend.
So that's the thing. You are just associating these awesome movies with bad memories.
I don't know. I also just don't really love Jim Carrey, but. Here's the thing: I got people yelling at me on the internet when I said SpongeBob was garbage. Also, so like that is a certain type of people's sense of humor.
For sure.
If this is going to be your go-to Grinch for the season, don't invite me over because we probably don't have a lot in common.
Well, so the question then that I have for you, we both agree that the cartoon ones are just for kids of all ages. What age would you say Jim Carrey's The Grinch is acceptable for? There's some language, not a lot though, but he says Helen bitchin' and it's like, why put that in The Grinch? Just leave it out in The Grinch, but whatever.
Either. And it wasn't funny, which is sort of like my qualifier for needing swears is, are they funny?
Right.
I would say that the 2000 Jim Carrey Grinch movie is appropriate. It's probably appropriate for everybody, but the faces and the scariness, you're going to want to keep it around 10.
Yeah, I just said like wait till because the other ones are so good and worth watching that might as well wait until your kid's 10, 11 or 12.
Yeah, that's a huge range, but also
Well, I know it's a huge range, but so for me probably going to let my 12-year-old watch it when he's 12 and then Zach will be 10.
Yeah.
And Kiara will be playing blocks.
It's just when you have 3 options, why would you pick that one?
Because Jim Carrey's funny. Because Jim Carrey's funny. It's gonna be funny to see what people think about this.
They're gonna hate me because Jim Carrey is beloved.
Yeah, he is beloved. He also has some surprisingly interesting takes on life now that he's older and wiser.
I've heard people say that lately, but I haven't listened to any of them, so I don't know.
One of my favorite things he says, and I'm going to paraphrase here, is he says something like, "I wish that every single person in the world could have everything their heart desires and all the money in the world and all the fame in the world that they want, so they could realize that will not make them happy, and then they can look for something else to make them happy."
Oh, see, that's the kind of thing that worries me. Like if he kills himself, I'm gonna be very upset.
Yeah, no,
I worry about Robin Williams did.
Yeah, I do think that Jim Carrey is pretty far along on his spiritual journey at the moment, though.
Good.
Which is probably why he's not acting as much.
that will turn that off.
Yeah,
if anybody's like,
sure.
"Hey, where's Katie's Twitch stream gone?" Oh,
yeah,
can't do it.
Podcast got too big.
Podcast got too big.
100%.
Yeah.
We hope that you all have the absolute best holiday season with your family and friends. Enjoy watching the Grinch movies or don't. But thank you for listening. Go to isthisforkids.com. Let us know what you want us to review, especially in the new year. 2024 is coming up. There's going to be a lot of different movies coming out. We're going to be reviewing most of the ones that
if it's not Wonka on the first day of the new year, I'm not hanging out.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
I'm so excited.
And what's the name of the guy who plays the main Oompa Loompa who's also in this?
I'm
forgetting his name off the top of my head. He's in Love. He's in Love Actually.
Shoot.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
The pressure. Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
There you go.
He's in it. That's so good. Like
He is
that
good.
was that's there. It's been a long time that I don't even know if I can think of a time when I saw a preview of a movie and they released like a crazy cool Easter egg in the preview.
Yeah.
Like when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be
I'm so
perfect."
delighted.
Yeah, if he's
So
on board,
delighted.
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But IsraKids.com, check out everything. Let us know what you want us to review. Check out our Patreon.
Yes, absolutely. There's just so much media out there to navigate as parents.
I'm Jonathan Blevins,
I'm Katie Ruvi.
and we will help you find out: is this for kids? Look at us. We're getting good at this.